Hey there, everybody. I'm King 5 meteorologist Leah Pezzetti. It is Saturday evening just after 6 p.m. and take a look at what I'm seeing around Western Washington. Blue skies across the board. Everett showing crystal clear skies. Tacoma as well. The mountain is out. It is a beautiful start to the 3-day weekend. As we head into the next couple of days, we are going to see some changes. A little bit cooler, a little bit cloudier. Today, so far, this could change, but so far for the day on Saturday, most of us around the Sound have hit the 70s. In fact, some mid to upper 70s. Olympia hit 78 degrees so far for the day. Bellingham, Mount Vernon, both at 70 degrees so far. A little bit cooler along the coast. Quileute and Hoquiam only in the low 60s, but much warmer off to the east. Wenatchee in those upper 70s. In fact, I think I did see Wenatchee actually briefly hit the 80-degree threshold for today. So this is not official observations. We'll wait until the day ends to get those official reads, but so far for the day, it has been warm out there. A good thing to keep in mind is that yes, our air temperatures are warming up. It is feeling beautiful out there, but water takes a lot longer to warm than air does. So our bodies of water are not as warm as the air is. So if you are going to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having, maybe go boating, paddle boarding, experience the gorgeous conditions, I do want you to remember that our water is much colder. Puget Sound waterways in the low 50s, Lake Washington and Lake Sammamish are in the upper 50s. Our rivers and streams are anywhere from the mid 40s into the mid to upper 50s. So much colder than the air. And a good thing to keep in mind, if you are getting out and enjoying the warm weather, a lot of the times what happens is if you're not planning on getting in the water and you fall in on accident, you get that cold water shock. So if you're planning on getting in the water, it's not quite as dangerous as if you fall in and you have that cold water shock, and that can lead to the hypothermia. So all that to say, if you are going to get out and enjoy the warm weather, make sure you have life jackets, make sure you're keeping an eye on the kiddos. Just water safety is very important on days like today. As we head into our overnight hours, we're going to hold on to the 70s just a little bit longer. 60s once that sun goes down. 50s for most of our overnight hours, but we'll actually see some upper 40s popping up for our lows for tomorrow morning. As we take a look at the next couple of days, tomorrow we're going to reintroduce a little more cloud coverage. Monday, much more cloud coverage and even some rain chances, very minimal rain chances. They're going to be quick though, and then we'll see temperatures rebounding, potentially flirting with the warmest temperatures of the year so far. So we'll unpack it all. Let's start with tomorrow. For our Sunday, Memorial Day weekend Sunday, we're going to see a lot more cloud coverage than what we saw today. As I showed you from those views as of right now, we have clear blue skies. Tomorrow, we're going to have a little bit more cloud coverage. It'll still be beautiful outside. Still get out and enjoy it. Temperatures will still be very comfortable. Everett spending most of the day in the 60s with the sun dominating into the first part of the day, but we'll see that cloud coverage really picking up into the end of the day. Same thing as we take a look around Tacoma. The best shot at sunshine is in the first part of the day, and then we see the cloud coverage into the second half of the day. Temperatures spending most of the day in the 60s, but we do look to see some areas getting close to and briefly touching that 70-degree threshold. Best chance for that is going to be King County and southward, and Kitsap County as well. A little bit cooler along the coast with the low 60s expected, but as we cool things down around Western Washington, we're actually going to warm things up for Eastern Washington. So temperatures will be warmer for places like Leavenworth and Wenatchee tomorrow compared to today. So as many of you are doing weekend travel, maybe some day trips over to the east, keep in mind that yes, things are cooling in Western Washington, but they're actually warming in Eastern Washington from Saturday into Sunday. Let's track the rain potential that's heading our way Sunday into Monday. This is a look at Sunday morning. So for at this point, 10 a.m., it's going to be a really nice start to the day. We have blue sky. We'll have some passing clouds that are starting to move through. Those are going to increase throughout the daytime hours. This is Sunday night, 9 p.m. here. At this point, Puget Sound is still staying dry, but we'll have that dense cloud coverage that's starting to fill in, and we're starting to see some showers over along the coast. So for anyone who's heading to the coast for the weekend, get ready for rain by Sunday night. We also have some showers that are popping up on the eastern slopes of the Cascades. So places like Wenatchee, places like Yakima, looking at the some potentially heavy rain late Sunday evening. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, especially for any weekend travels, any weekend driving especially. That continues to enhance into our late night hours tomorrow night. This is right around midnight. We still have rain mostly around the Olympic Peninsula. It's starting to creep towards South Sound, and we'll continue to track those showers on the eastern slopes of the Cascades that could potentially be heavy as well. Most of the rain is going to fall during our overnight hours, early Monday morning. So everybody has a shot around Puget Sound at some sprinkles, but what I will point out is that we have a rain shadow that sets up. So basically the Olympics are going to block a lot of the rain from hitting Puget Sound. So it's going to suck up a lot of that moisture. So the Olympic Peninsula, the Olympics, the coast, you'll get the heaviest rain Sunday night into Monday morning. Whereas around the Sound, it's just a couple raindrops, and really the Seattle metro area, and then even north of that, we're not looking at very much rain at all. If anything, a couple hundredths of an inch at best. As we head into Monday morning, this is 9 a.m. here. We'll keep a lot of that steadier rain north of Seattle and even north of Everett. We'll have a little bit of rain for our southern Cascades, but you can see at this point, 9 a.m., we're already seeing nice clearing around South Sound into Central Sound as well. So yes, we have some light rain chances on Monday, but it is not looking like it's going to create a washout of a day. Here's Monday afternoon, 3:30. We're still continuing to dry out. Puget Sound is still looking dry. We'll have some shower chances for our higher elevation, so especially for the Cascades. That's a good thing to keep in mind if you're doing any pass travel on Monday afternoon. We could see a couple showers over a Highway 2 and I-90. So Monday afternoon is when we have the best shot at that, but then we'll see things drying out Monday night. So if you do want to avoid rain over the mountains and you do have to travel on Monday, the later you wait, the better. If you wait until right around sunset, at that point will be much drier. This will cool temperatures down. Here's a look at our highs for Monday. We're going from 70s today into the 60s for Monday. Low to mid 60s for most of us around the Sound, and even cooler over along the Olympic Peninsula. We're looking at upper 50s for our highs on Monday. Also cooling things off to the east at that point. Leavenworth and Wenatchee are looking at the 70s. So that's Memorial Day Monday. Into Tuesday, we're going to have very quiet conditions. We'll warm things up again. It'll be a nice sunny day, but I want to point your attention to Wednesday. Wednesday is not only our warmest day of the week, but potentially the warmest day of the year so far. SeaTac, the warmest temperature we've felt for the calendar year 2025 is 77 degrees, and we're looking to shatter that. Low 80s at this point are expected. And as we're getting closer to this event, as I'm keeping an eye on models, I am seeing that temperatures are continuing to warm. So every day that I've looked at this, they get a little bit warmer each time as we get closer to this event. So it does look like low and even into the mid 80s are very likely at this point down to the south. Up to the north, a little bit cooler, but still extremely warm, mid to upper 70s for our areas north of King County. Over along the coast, that's where you'll want to head if you want to cool off. Upper 60s expected in places like Quileute, and then Hoquiam looking at right around 70 degrees. Wenatchee is flirting with the 90s on Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be a downright hot day, especially for this time of the year. What I will also point out is that normal for this time of year at SeaTac is 68 degrees. So we've seen this pattern where the last couple of weeks, a lot of May has actually been cooler than normal. But as we head into the final week of May, that's right, this is the final 7 days of the month of May, temperatures are averaging above average. So low 70s dominate. Even with Monday, our cool down still brings us to right around normal for this time of year. We have that very brief warm up into the 80s on Wednesday, but then we'll cool things down, still staying warmer than average for this time of year. It does look like as we head into next weekend, we're going to see temperatures staying in the 70s as well. So another warm weekend next weekend. Here's another look at your 7-day forecast. Thankfully, those 80s are short-lived, so it's not necessarily a heat wave, but definitely something we'll keep an eye on for that isolated day. But to sum it all up for the remainder of your Memorial Day weekend, today was the clearest and sunniest and warmest of the 3-day weekend. We'll cool things down a little bit as we head into Monday. Of course, stay with your King 5 weather team as we stay on top of your forecast.